This week on Scotty's Garage, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Hey guys, as you can see, we're at the Carnage workshop today. Now the plans for this weekend were that I was going to do some work on the Scotty's Garage store, do some editing at home, then maybe get out into the garage and do some work on the lockdown wagon, or, you know, Dad's ute, probably the wagon. And then Sunday we were going to race that, the twin turbo VS Carnage ute. We're going to take that out to Heathcote on Sunday and run that. And, you know, we're going to ease into it. You know, we're going to do, say, some 60-foot passes and then some half tracks and then maybe a full pass or two just to get some data. And then we're going to bring it back and do parachute and fire system and all that stuff before we go full send. That was the plan. However, the rain is coming. So tomorrow, right in our racing window from about 11 AM through to 6 PM is going to be raining, and it's going to be raining quite a bit. So rather than tow 3 hours up there, stand around for a couple hours and then load up in the rain and tow 3 hours back, we thought we'd pull the pin on tomorrow, which is a bit of a shame because, well, I've got a car trailer here, paid $350 to hire this thing for the weekend, and yeah, I'm sitting there going, that's a shame, you know, we've got a car trailer and it doesn't look like we're going racing. And I thought, I got stuff to move. I got at least 3 Carnage engines sitting at my place, plus a car that's been sitting in my garden for years. I'm like, I've got a trailer, I've got the time, I've got the will, and you know what they say, where there's a will, there's a way. So I figure, let's hook up the trailer to that massive F-150 that's parked outside, because we've got that to lend for the week as well. Ford's given us that for the week. So I'm going to hook up this to the F-150, put an engine crane on this, tie it down, tow it out to home, and start moving some stuff here to the Carnage workshop that, you know, doesn't need to be at my place. So lots of shuffling going to be happening. So let's get started. Okay, now trailer. Okay, and now for this beast. So this is a Ford F-150 XLT, so long wheelbase, dual cab. It's a pretty cool thing. It is only the V6 EcoBoost because we don't get the V8s here in Australia, which is a bit of a shame given that both Ram and Silverado are both available as V8s. But the EcoBoost goes alright, like it gets along pretty good. For a big vehicle with an engine like that, it gets along okay. So, and you know, we've seen Zane do some pretty amazing things with the EcoBoost platform, like the smaller 3-litre version they have in the Raptors. Like Zane's running 11 second quarters with his Raptor, and that's not a light vehicle. So anyway, let's hook up and get out of here. Alright, column shift, of course. Alright, it is massive though. Like this thing, the Silverado feels wider. There's no doubt about that. But this is definitely longer. Right, so we've got the engine hoist strapped to the trailer. That's nice and solid. So I guess we haul this thing out, get the Lexan back in, pop the bollards back in, bring the door down, lock up, and then head out to home and start loading up out there. Not exactly how I plan to spend this weekend, but you know, you got to take the opportunities when you can. So let's get this party started, I guess. Starting to feel like that scene from the castle where, you know, you got to move the Chimera to move the Cortina to watch the Commodore and look out for that boat. It's like a bloody road train. It's massive. Now for the next part in our little journey, getting Dad's ute out. So the first thing on our list of things to move is this. So this was 12s for 2K. This is the original car. So this car was going to get built for Carnage as, you know, to run 12s for $2,000 or less. But it fell out of favour with management and they decided not to pursue it. So it's been sitting here for a few years now. And I've pushed it into the garden just to get it out of the way so I can drive in and out of my garage. But yeah, it's time to get rid of this thing. So this can go back to Carnage and then we can make a decision on whether we do something with it or not. But yeah, it is very much an eyesore. I want it out of my garden. And yeah, the only way that's going to happen, I think, is if we tow it out with Dad's ute. So we're going to have to tow this backwards with Dad's ute. Just a little bit, but enough that I can get it here and then we can get it onto the car trailer and get it out of here. That's the plan. We'll see if my wife will give me a hand with this. I'm not liking my chances. Plus, I have to do some hackage to get into the car on the other side. So let's have a look at that. So we've got a little bit of overgrowth happening here, which means I can't really get to the driver's door at the moment, but I have this. We'll call it my zombie apocalypse machete. This is what I do, use to prune trees around here. All right, let's get into it. I did some gardening here the other day, as you can see. Gardening. All right. Oh yay, we've had rats. Okay.
Are you towing it with the Valiant?
Yeah, well, we need to tow it out of the garden, so I need you to sit in this and just steer to the right a bit so it just goes that way a bit. I'm going to drive this up into the shed. Okay. That will give us enough. It has brakes. All you have to do is steer it. The key's in the ignition, it's already on, so the steering lock won't be on. I've laid something on the seat for you to sit on. So,
okay.
But I'm driving this car this time, not like last time.
What?
Remember Horningsea Park? Watch out for that.
I don't remember that.
You towed me so fast that I run into the back of you.
Oh,
Sorry, the windows don't wind down. Because race car.
Heap of shit. Sure how far you were pulling, and I put the brakes and go, stop, Dana, stop.
You may exit the vehicle now.
Okay, well then I thought I better not pull the brake on, because if I pull something off the ute, I'll be in trouble.
Much success! Now the fun part, backing the trailer in. Hopefully this winch works, otherwise I'm screwed. Alright, let's pull this thing on. Okay. That transmission's going to cause me some dramas, isn't it? One BTR. Let's get that on there. Okay. That's looking pretty good. All right, here we go. Ah, please. Really? You're fucking kidding me, right? Got some teeth missing off it. Fuck's sake. Alright. Do it the hard way. Alright, come over here. See this rubber block?
Yeah.
I need you to not stand behind the car and move it forward as I lever the car forward, okay? Alright, do not stand behind the car. Alright, let's see if we can make this happen. Alright, that did not work.
Oh.
Okay. I need a stronger bit of wood. Okay, we're good? All right. fucking hell. Alright, can you put the chock behind the wheel? Don't stand behind it.
Not as far as it goes.
Right now it is. We're going to have to do the same thing, except we might need your mother as well. Eventually we will get this on, but the battery's running flat on the camera, so yeah, we'll have a still shot for you. We're getting there. As I've come to call it, is loaded up and behind us on the trailer, and I'm hauling it back to Dandenong, where I'm going to dump it outside the workshop and it's going to fit in just fine. And now we're into day 2 of the weekend's activities. So the car transfer went fine last night. The F-150 towed like a dream. It was great. So I've dumped that in front of the Carnage workshop. So thankfully I no longer have a car in my garden, but I do have 1, 2, 3 engines, so 2 Barrows and an LS, plus a massive box of stuff there, a box there. I think there's some other stuff. There's also a rear end there, and I've already put a diff on the trailer. So there is a fair bit of stuff to move. All right, I've got the engine hoist here. I'm going to load them onto boards and trolley them down to the trailer. It's going to suck, but I'm going to enjoy the space. All right. This one's definitely a skateboard job. Alright, let's see how we go with that. LS1 anyone? All barra parts. So while it's good to clear space in this shed and free up some room for Scotty's garage things, just say I'm really feeling it this arvo. Obviously, you know, lifting heavy things at my age is not fun anyway, but I just heard that Harry Haig has passed away. So Harry Haig, you guys that know him from Haul Ass Garage. I know him as that crazy bastard who was a big part of our lives for, well, the last 10 years, you know, right from the start of Drag Challenge, you know. He was there, he came along. He didn't do the full Drag Challenge, he showed up on day 2 and came and had a bit of a play with us. And yeah. And then from then on, I think he was pretty much at every Drag Challenge. And then Drag Week, you know, obviously we went over to cover him and a few other Aussies' exploits at Drag Week. So, you know, from 2014 to 2015 to 2018, those years. So yeah, 15, 16, 17, 18. I went over each of those years and just covered Harry's exploits, you know, so followed those guys very closely, and you know, he's won Drag Challenge twice, and I gotta say I'm devastated to hear the news. I'm at a loss. So I'll raise a drink. Big dog, I'm sorry to hear. Cordy and family, my condolences. It's just the worst possible news. And I think we're going to leave the video there for this episode because I'm still processing. So I'm going to continue loading, but I am just not in that headspace right now to film, and I think you guys would understand that. So I'm just going to do my thing and process, and we'll come back to this next week. To the big dog, rest in peace, brother. Cheers from Scotty's Garage.